Taurus, if you've been waiting for your breakthrough moment, this message is for you. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your April monthly tarot reading. If you are new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you are returning, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss your spiritual guidance. This month brings long-awaited success, powerful forward movement, and victory that finally puts you back in control of your direction. Stay tuned, my friends, and I'll see you on the flip side. Hey there, beautiful Taurus souls. Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. This is your April monthly general intuitive tarot reading. As always, just take the messages that resonate and leave the rest. I've already asked for blessings, so let us begin. Okay, Taurus, let's see what is going on. You have the Six of Wands. You have the Two of Swords. You have the King of Pentacles and you have the Chariot. These are your main messages. At the bottom of the deck, you have the World card. And definitely some very powerful energy with all of this. And I'm loving this for you because it's so much victory here. I would even say victory at last for somebody out there. Victory at last. Of course, there's just slight wrinkle in the second week there, and not even really a wrinkle, because it's, you have this two, but we'll get into that in this Two of Swords, but we'll get into that in a few minutes, because I like that this Two of Swords as the main message has a blindfold, but it's like a veil through which you can actually see, okay, as opposed to this blindfold here. All right, a bit interesting, and we'll get into it in a second. Yeah, so all in all, it looks great. Gorgeous cards here on the table. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And of course, let's not forget, my friends, that, as you get into this month, the sun starts to move into your zodiac sign nearing the latter part of the month. So, of course, makes perfect sense to me that piece of the month actually might feel even a lot better than this second week here. Yeah. So let's talk about your overarching energy here, which is the World card. That really is a representation of completion, of fulfillment. So, and a successful completion at that, right? To either a major milestone, to a major life cycle. Perhaps there's a big project you've been working on, you finally complete it. I feel like in this month, it's really more of a milestone achievement, or something that you've been hoping for and wanting for a very long time has finally come to fruition. That's why I also say victory at last here. That World card is, if the Fool is the start of the major arcana, the World card here is the end, right? So the Fool starts a journey and comes to all the way through to the World card. And once you have some major completion, now you can move onward to something else that you want to achieve. All right. And that's the theme of your month, really, which is about reaching that milestone, about integrating lessons that you've learned, getting to this point, and really celebrating success while you are preparing for that new beginning, whatever comes now that you've achieved this milestone, whatever you want to concentrate on next. All right. So you start the month, you have the Six of Wands, and I love the Six of Wands. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It is clarified by Justice and the Two of Pentacles. So Taurus, that is victory, right? That is definitely a victory. I mean, this card here is about recognition. It's a card of success. It's a card sometimes of public acknowledgement. Somebody has acknowledged you, perhaps. It feels like you've been working towards something that's finally, either you've finally been noticed, you've finally been validated. Somebody may have an offer out there because you do have justice. So a strong sense of fairness, a sense of balance, but also justice is about the law. So sometimes it is about signing contracts, or, I feel like somebody's, just signed either a contract or gotten some kind of work that they've been waiting for a while, where they sign that deal and they sign the papers, and now they will be working somewhere because they have been hired, I feel, for somebody. All right. Definitely a lot of sense of pride too in this first week. It sort of validates for you that, if you've been doubting yourself and your skills and your abilities, Taurus, I feel like you get this sense of release and this sense of pride, and you say, okay, I really, really can do it. I really am capable. I knew I was capable, but I was doubting. Why do we doubt? Because some things don't always go our way, and when they finally do start going our way again, it revives that sense of, you know pride and hope and belief in ourselves. All right. And it's definitely well earned, that sense of pride, my friends, okay? Now, I do feel for somebody in this week, and I have to give it the message. It won't be for everybody, but I do feel for somebody there's a bit of a windfall, okay? Or you could be making a very, very important sale, perhaps selling a house or something. The Justice card there, definitely, as I said, contracts, agreements. So it could be signing papers for the sale of a house or something. Definitely some paperwork or legal matters, right? Uh, but it is whatever it is that you sign in, if there's some legal documents that you're signing, this is all in your favor, right? It is clarifying. This justice clarifies the victory card, right? And, definitely some juggling going on here with that Two of Pentacles. So I do feel it's a lot more of a busier month for you than you've probably had, uh, up to this point. Definitely juggling, multiple responsibilities, maybe a lot of opportunities at the same time. You could even have a couple of offers that you are looking at here, hence the reason why you might have a little bit of uh, uh, questioning it here in the second week. But definitely feeling that you could be balancing something. Okay, so either you're juggling a lot of stuff, or you could even be balancing your finances. and or looking at multiple opportunities, whether that's career opportunities or other types of opportunities. It could even be just balancing your family life with your work life or your family in general, okay, and your family situations in general. I feel like it feels a little bit exciting, and I'm very happy for you, Taurus, that it feels so exciting. And of course, a little busy, but sometimes it's nice to be busy. Uh, but what I love is about this Two of Pentacles is it just shows me that you know, you're very adaptable, right? You're very adaptable. You're capable of managing this. You're going to be capable of figuring this all out, capable of taking on whatever this potential opportunity is, if there's an opportunity there for you and that's your situation, and achieving that wonderful milestone here. It's gorgeous. All right. Now we get into this second week where I said that's the sort of minor wrinkle, but I don't even feel like it's a wrinkle. I can't even come up with another word for you to use here because it's not really a wrinkle. It's just more of, the Two of Swords clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Two of Swords again. Okay, Two of Swords here. And when the same card shows up twice, Taurus, that really highlights that there's a decision here that you need to make. Okay. Um, and you could be struggling to make it. That's why I say if you do have two opportunities here, so there's a two, there's a two, and there's a two, which says it's decision time. All right. And I feel like even though you have to make a decision. As I said, what I love is the difference between these two cards. You see, like this one is truly blindfolded, this one is not. And that is the main message. The main message is you do have to make a choice, but it's not like you're fully not understanding what each of these choices offers or what the potential outcome is of, if you go with option one or option two or whatever, yes or no, up or down, right or left, right, in that decision that you need to make, because that veil is thin, so you can see through it. It's just a question of actually making the choice, right? Which is the harder part. That's the part I feel like you're struggling with, is that it's not always easy to make a choice because the Eight of Cups suggests here that means you have to emotionally detach from something, or you need to walk away from something that really doesn't fulfill you on a deeper level anymore. And that is not an easy choice to make. I get that, Taurus. Okay. So, because for some of you, this could be related to a relationship. For some of you, I feel it's a job situation. It's even a mindset. Okay. If your mindset has been in a certain way, you need to finally decide to get out of that mindset. And when you do, I think that's really, that the energy just shifts here in the latter half of the month. So I feel like this decision, I feel like this decision, whatever this decision is, or this thing that you need to choose between, I feel like part of you knows that you already know it needs to happen. Okay. But emotionally or mentally, it's just difficult to confront it directly. All right. For some of you, others of you know, yes, I need to make the decision. But or if, when we're presented with two things, we say to ourselves, well, if I take this, then I lose this. But if I take this, I lose this. Right. So, you know, making a decision sometimes is the hardest thing in the world because we just don't want to lose out on something. And we always fear that the choice we make makes us lose out on something. Here's the good news, my friend. My guides keep telling me there is no loss here. You will make the right choice because there is no wrong decision here for you. You will choose rightly because you're being guided to choose rightly, okay? Or to choose the correct thing for you, right? When we have a choice, one of the other things I want to just put out there is, if think about it this way. Think about the options as, if I didn't have that in my life, how would I feel? If I didn't have that in my life, how would I feel? Right? So you look at both choices and weigh that. And if you feel like it would be a loss for yourself, then maybe that's the one you have to choose because you don't want to be without it, right? All right. So anyway, I don't feel this is a wrong choice for you. It's just, it's just a hesitation, okay? It's not a wrinkle, it's more of a hesitation. Um, Now, if this is related to a relationship, I'm just going to say you're trying to keep the peace. So you're not really choosing at all, but you're just maybe picking sides, all right? Between people around you for somebody. So the universe certainly is encouraging you here to trust your inner truth, all right? You won't make the wrong decision, you won't choose incorrectly. Avoiding the decision only prolongs your discomfort. Okay. So face it, open the door, and then you can move on. All right. And to some kind of relief for yourself and some further growth, because you have 2 beautiful more weeks here in the month. Now we get into that third week. You have the King of Pentacles, clarified by the Four of Wands, the Prince of Swords. In this deck, it's called the Prince, but it's actually the Knight of Swords here. So, extremely strong, stable energy, confident energy. This is why I feel like you've made the choice by week 3, or, resolved whatever this is in week 2. You've now resolved it fully by week 3. All right. King of Pentacles is mastery, and it's mastery over finances, it's mastery over business, it's mastery over stability. Okay. Long-term security here. This is also security. This is also stability, my friends. All right. Um, For me, the King of Pentacles is a character who knows how to build and maintain success. All right. So I feel this puts your confidence into overdrive, really. Um, could lead to a new leadership role. And if that's your case, I feel like people are inspired by you, which is such a lovely feeling I'm getting off of this. As a result of that leadership role, I feel like financial increase somewhere is on the way for you. Um, Four of Wands, celebration, milestone. Okay, again, feeling milestone and completion here. Definitely feeling a lot of maybe just stability in the home in general, in your daily life, right? In your daily life, I feel like there's a lot more stability, achievement around you, and you're definitely maybe celebrating something. There's that possibility there. Four of Wands is a card of celebration. So maybe you're recognizing, and maybe you want to celebrate with somebody this milestone that you've reached here. Knight of Swords certainly is the fastest moving knight in the deck, so whatever it is, it happens quickly. I feel like there's a lot of sudden forward movement, very bold, confident forward movement at that. You end the month with Chariot, clarified by the Four of Swords and the Queen of Wands. So powerful determination. You're driving, my friends. There's victory there. Okay. So victory twice for sure here. Victory, victory. I mean, you have a lot of cards of victory here on the table. So definitely, you're very focused. You're moving forward after whatever challenges you might have had here in this decision making. But I feel like you're taking control of the direction of your life, not letting distractions pull you off course in any way, shape, or form. You know, the Four of Swords there suggests that, part of the success of this month for you really comes because you've allowed yourself some moments of rest. All right. I would also say that if this was a tough decision and it drained you, you should be taking some rest at the end of the month there, because now you whatever that pressure is that you've had eases up and you can take some rest, some reflection, maybe some mental clarity can come to you now because you have a little less pressure on you. And just sort of step back briefly to recharge, okay, before you make any next further big steps or movement here. All right. I love the Queen of Wands. This is a card of confidence, a card of charisma for me. It's also a card of creativity. So, you can be more creative. The decisions aren't always creative, but once we get through decisions, it allows us to be more creative. And I feel like you have a lot of bold self-expression here. Okay. It is a magnetic energy. All right. This is a mover, a shaker, a doer, a manifester. Somebody gets their hands dirty. All right. So your month ends here feeling very empowered, Taurus, and very sure of yourself. And it's very visible to people that are with you or around you. They're going to actually notice that. All right, let's get you a fairy oracle card. Let's see what they want to add. Card, please, for Taurus for April. What would you like to add to this reading, Taurus? Wow, you have the same card that came out for Aries. That's so weird, but I love it. It's a gorgeous card. It's called Magical Gateway. I'm going to read it to you. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Oh, yeah, absolutely. In that decision, you're going to make it, step boldly forward, and walk through that gateway, my friends. That's where I think that's so beautiful for you. That's it for today, my friends. I'll see you again soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.